What is this computer?
We're going to sit over here. Over here on this side. Come here. Listen, you can sit at this table on that side. Okay? You can sit at this table over there.
Well, the challenge is for, well, let me ask you one thing. I can do it without internet. So cute! Let's go! Yeah!
Can you see? Oh! I'm in front of the camera. Cindy, move over. Move over. Hey, stop. Hey, you guys. Clear this area. Move over.
Everybody, can I get your attention? So you guys, I go to a lot of different schools, and the one that I know always works is when I go like this. Daisy run around. Oh. Works all over. Mason, come here. I want you to say hi to everybody. Come here. Can you quiet sign? Okay, this is why I needed this. Do you have a quiet sign in your school? Ah, this one. Yes.
You guys move down.
Thank you.
Come down here.
All right.
No. Not in front of the computer. Down here. Yes. Down here. Down here.
You guys can't just do the sign. You need to be quiet when we say that, okay? All right, we're gonna get started. Okie dokie. Thank you. Who remembers? She's licking me. She's giving me a kiss. She's all excited. Who remembers Miss Kim from an assembly we had when I was on the computer? And hold on just a minute, then you can tell me. Do you remember this one too? Was she on the computer with me? In the beginning, right? Does anybody remember her name? Wow, that was a while ago. Do you remember? Who remembers her name? What's her name? Maisie. Do you remember why her name is Maisie? I guess I should stay here because I think I'm on this screen. Sorry, you guys. Why is her name Maisie? Do you remember? Go ahead, tell me. It's related to Michaela's voice. Do you know how it's related to Michaela's voice? Who's Michaela? Michaela. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you don't remember. I thought you knew. I thought you were just so nervous and jerky today. Do you guys know where Maisie got her name? Do you know? Go ahead, tell me. Yes, but she's named after something on that slide. Does anybody know? You know? Where'd she get her name? She is Michaela's therapy dog. But where did she, do you know? Go ahead. I think we're waiting for some sound for the classrooms. Where'd she get her name? The ladybug. What part of the ladybug? What part of the ladybug did she get her name from? Do you know? The yellow spot. All right, you guys. I'm going to put her in her bed. She's all nervous. Why are you all nervous? Look how friendly they are. Hold on. In your bed. Stay in your bed. We started with Maisie because I wanted to remind you about Michaela's voice and about our logo with the yellow spot. Maisie was named Maisie because of a yellow vegetable. What is that? Corn. We also call corn what? Yes, maize. So we named her Maisie because it'd be kind of silly if we named our dog Yellow, right? So she's named after the yellow spot in our logo in Ladybug because our logo I see a ladybug with a spot. And our spot is really important to us. When we did our logo, can somebody tell me, why do you think we didn't just do a red ladybug with all black spots? Why didn't we do a regular ladybug with all black spots?
Because of Michaela's voice.
Because of Michaela's voice? What's your answer?
Because we are all different.
Because we're all different, right? Have you guys ever seen a yellow ladybug? Hands down. Have you ever seen an orange? Have you ever seen a brown ladybug? Have you ever, but most ladybugs are what color? Mostly have black spots. So we made our logo a ladybug with one yellow spot because she's different. Look around this room. Do you see anybody here that's exactly the same? No. Absolutely not. So we celebrate all differences. And if you're different, do you want to be treated any differently from anybody else? So what does the word inclusion mean? Inclusion comes from it's a longer word with a shorter word inside.
Come back.
What's the shorter word for inclusion?
space for 2 minutes.
We don't leave anybody out. I've already been here to visit your school. You guys might not have seen me. You know that I was here for an assembly on your computer, but then I came back and did some artwork with some of your friends. So I already know you guys have a super friendly school, and we include everyone, right? Did you? Yep, we include everybody. All right, next slide. Oh, it's already up. So in case you didn't get to see Maisie, there's Miss Maisie. She's named after the yellow spot. So the yellow spot is very important.
I see this photo of your puppy.
I know, well, and there's Michaela. You asked me who Michaela was. Michaela was, Maisie was Michaela's therapy puppy. And she used to sit in her lap because she was so little, she'd fit right in her lap in the wheelchair. But the yellow spot at Michaela's voice is really, really important. So I do these assemblies all over the state of Pennsylvania. And at the end of one, a couple years ago, I said to all the students, does anybody want to write a book about the ladybug with the yellow spot? And I asked them, I said, is the ladybug a girl or a boy? I mean, not all ladybugs are girl ladybugs. Do you think the ladybug is a girl or a boy? What do you think? A girl. Anybody think a boy? Somebody tell me what you would name the ladybug if you were writing the book. What would you name the ladybug? Yellow spot. What would you name the ladybug?
The different ladybug.
The different ladybug. What would you name the ladybug?
I would name her Isabella.
That's a beautiful name for ladybug. What would you name the ladybug?
I would name her Flash.
Flash. That's another great, you know, that'd be a really great name for a lightning bug too. Yeah, yellow is like lightning. That's why that is really creative. Now that's what, let's stop on that. Put your hands down. I know you can't all have an answer to every question. Think about when you write a book, how you have to be super creative. That was a super creative idea that he would name the ladybug Flash because the spot is yellow like a flash of lightning. Well, anyway, I have been asking kids across the state to write a book about the ladybug with the yellow spot. Can I read it? And no, but thank you. But so finally, this boy named, next slide. Oh, Michael's, oh, you have the clicker? Look at, he's really happy he has a clicker. There's Holden on the left with the braces. He wrote the book, The Spot. And right behind him is his brother, Chandler. And I'm gonna, you know what you can help me with? You can help me with something. Hold on. You offered to help. Could you rip that off of there for me? Rip off that plastic for me. Sure. Okay. Okay, got it? It is by, well, no, it's by Holden Fry. If you open this book and you look on the back and the inside, and I'll leave it here so you guys can all look. If you look on the inside, there's a picture of Holden. He wrote the entire book and he did all the illustrations. And he was 9, and it takes a while to write a book. So he was 9 years old and he turned 10 when he wrote the book, 9 and 10. Raise your hand if you're 9 or 10. Put your hand down. And then after he wrote the book, he had to do all the drawings. And he did the drawings when he was 10, turning 11. Raise your hand if you're 11. It's pretty cool to have a published book when you're... I do, I see it. You have all the flags here. Michael, are you ready? Should we read this book by Holden? Okay, could you, I'm gonna read it, but could you scooch over a little? While I read this book to you, up there on the top is going to be, you just click on the link. There you go. Oh, it didn't go. Hold on, we're just getting you guys the pictures. Hold on, you guys. I'm just getting you pictures. Nope, you don't want to use any of it. Oh, you have to, do you want to get out of the, no, I'll just give you the PDF version. on. We're getting the link a different way. I don't usually get all this help. There it is. Thank you. Okay. Now, as I read it, you don't need to see me because you need to see up there. Michael, turn the page, please. There you go. Oh, hold on. The spot, you're seeing exactly what I'm reading. Stay there, Michael.
Written and illustrated by.
Hold, maybe he can read this. Read that.
This book is.
You had it, it's all right. This book is dedicated to my dog Dexter, who has been my best friend since I came home from the hospital. Hi, my name is Dot. I am a teenage ladybug with a cool and different look, and life is good. But it wasn't always that way. Life was cruel when I was younger. I used to live at the pumpkin patch at Otto's farm until one day my parents dropped the bomb. We were moving. Hold on a minute. What does the sign say? Otto's farm. Otto's farm. They told us this one day after there was a school field trip and our pumpkin was picked. Mom and Dad told me we would be moving to the sunflower garden 2 fields away. We were talking about how when you write a book, you want to be super creative. Think about when you go to a pumpkin patch in the fall on a field trip, and usually everybody picks a pumpkin to bring home. So Holden's idea was that one of the students picked the pumpkin that Dot and her family were living in. That's a pretty creative way to start a book, right? It wasn't that far, but there was one really big problem. This meant a new school. All right, here, sit here. I didn't think much about it at the time. I was so focused on summer and playing with my BFF Lucy. That night, my family slept over at Lucy's house. It was so cool. The reason Lucy is my best friend is that she doesn't mind my yellow spot, my curly antennae, or the fact I cannot fly. The next day, my parents woke me up really early and said, it's time to go to our new house. I didn't want to go, so I ran and hid in the best hiding spot I knew. After a few minutes, I was pretty bored, so I decided to peek out of the toy box and saw my dad at the entrance of the pumpkin. He turned his head and saw me. The gig was up.
Toys.
So where's he hiding? Where's he hiding?
In the toy box.
He is. She is, I should say. I said goodbye to Lucy and her family, hopped on my dad's back, and we flew away. As I rode to our new home, I felt overwhelmed and scared. When we got to the sunflower, I waved at our new neighbor. As soon as he saw me, he turned and flew away. This isn't the first time something like this has happened to me. Many other ladybugs have been scared because I look different. Having this big yellow spot on my back has been a real obstacle. My parents always say, we love you, Dot. Don't let that get you down. You're going to tell me what kind of flower that is? What is it?
It's a yellow flower.
It is. I think Holden meant for it to be a sunflower. Because you see in the middle, it looks like there might be sunflower seeds growing. Yes. Can you guess oh, we already did. I explained it's a sunflower. I'm sorry. I went into the house to look at my new room. It was big. My parents asked me what I thought of the new house. It's fine, I muttered. What I really wanted to say was, it's nothing like my old room. No, I'm gonna read the rest, okay? Okay, thank you. It's nothing like my old room in the pumpkin, and the neighbors don't seem very kind. That night, I laid in bed and couldn't fall asleep. My parents came in the next morning bright and early to wake me up. I put my head under my wings. I was so tired from the night before, but my parents wanted to take me to my new school, meet my new teacher. This school is way different from my other school. It is located under a shed, not in a pumpkin. When we arrived at the school, we were introduced to my new teacher, Mrs. Moe, who seemed really nice. She showed us around and even gave me a nectar pop. Mrs. Moe was pretty cool, and I began to feel a little better about starting at a new school. The next week, school started. Surprisingly, I was pretty excited and feeling much better than I had before. When I got to school, Mrs. Moe introduced me to the class, but everyone just stared at me. One kid even jumped up and flew to the hall. Everyone else started to point and whisper, she's being good, we're gonna leave her in. Some even laughed. My teacher told them to stop. When I got to my desk partner moved to another desk. I felt sad and excluded. That day was really hard. At lunch, I had no one to sit with. At recess, it was boring with no one to hopscotch with. My day was terrible. When I got home, my parents asked, how was school? Holding back tears, I said, it was the worst. I made no friends and they ignored me. I never want to go back there again. My parents gave me a big hug, reminded me how much they loved me, and told me things would get better. My mom said to me quietly before bed, Dot, as soon as everyone gets to know you, they will love you as much as we do. She kissed my curled antenna and tucked me tightly into bed. The next morning, remembering what my parents had said, I pushed through all my doubts and fears and I got myself ready for school. The same thing happened again on that day, but this time there was a new kid. He took my cabbage piece and my favorite pen. I felt terrible. That day I tried to run away. I never wanted to see any of them again. I ran into a nearby clover forest, sat down under a clover tree, and cried. Once the tears stopped, I stood up and looked around. I noticed something interesting. The clover that I was sitting under had 4 leaves. It was different from all the others in the clover forest, just like I am different from other ladybugs. I wondered how that clover tree felt to be different from all the others. How do you think the clover tree felt?
It's a green clover.
It is. How many leaves does it have? No, over here. How many?
1, 2, 3,
4. Correct. Once I felt better, I went home and told my parents I found a 4-leaf clover tree. That's another really creative part of this book. Holden realized that to a ladybug being so small, a clover would be as big as a tree, right? I wasn't sure why they were so excited, but they explained to me that 4-leaf clover trees are known to bring great luck. I wasn't completely sure if I believed that, but little did I know, indeed, my luck would start to change. It was getting late and time for bed. The next day at school, we found out that the crickets were moving into our school for 3 days. A dog had stepped on their school the day before, and they needed to come and have school at our place. We had never had crickets at our school before, and I had never even met a cricket face to face. I felt very nervous. When they arrived, my teacher introduced us to them. When they arrived, my teacher introduced us to them. I sat next to a cricket named Hoppy. She didn't mind how I looked. She was actually really kind. All the boys were laughing and making fun of how the others looked different. When the teacher overheard how the boys were treating each other, she reminded us that our school counselor, Mrs. G, looks different too. Mrs. G is what? Can you help me? Yeah, but what is she? She's not a ladybug, is she? She's a butterfly. She is a butterfly. She looks different too. Mrs. Moe invited Mrs. G to come and lead a guidance lesson about differences with our class. Mrs. G explained that we are more the same than we are different and read us a book. Did you want to tell us something? He just realized that the butterfly is reading Holden's book. Once finished, she asked us to tell her what the story was all about. The first person to raise their hand was Jack, the boy who took my pen and stole my cabbage yesterday. He replied, I understand what you mean. Even though we look different, we all have feelings, we all have a heart, we all want to be liked and have friends, and we all just want to be happy. I wasn't really nice to Dot yesterday. I apologized for what I did. Mrs. G thanked him for being honest, and she handed him a golden sticker. The rest of that day, things were different. I actually started to get to know some new bugs, both ladybugs and crickets. Jack and Hoppy were the first two bugs I made friends with. I had two friends to sit next to at lunch and play with at recess. The next day, Jack and Hoppy told their friends how nice I was, and then they came to play too. I never thought I would make friends, and yet here I am. That day, I felt a leap of joy in my heart. I felt different. I mean, I always felt different, but I realized I could finally be happy for who I am. Even though I look different, that does not mean I cannot make friends and be me. I am happy to be just as I am. Dot with the one and only Spot. Thank you. That was nice of you. Oh, by the way. Thank you for starting to clap. That's exactly how kindness happens. One person starts and then everybody joins in, and then you're all being kind to Holden about his book. Yes, I see some hands up. What did you want to share?
On the last page, when she was like in her wings, it looked like a heart.
It did look like a heart. That's what Holden wanted it to be, and that's his mother's favorite picture in the whole book.
That kind of looks like she's flying.
I didn't even think about that. It really can't fly, but on the last page, it's like she's flying because she's learned. Wow, I never thought about that. It's like she's really flying, right? Because she's comfortable in her own skin and she's self-confident. That's something we all want.
Did Holden cut out all
Yes. Hey, that's a good transition. Let's talk about that. She was asking me how Holden did the pictures. Well, Michael, can you go back one slide and show that one? Okay. This looks like, by the way, where are all my friends that, raise your hand if you helped me with the artwork. These guys probably know. How does that look like they might have done that artwork? Do you guys remember?
It's tissue paper mache or something.
It's called tissue paper decoupage. She's absolutely right. And when we unveiled the beautiful artwork that these guys made for your school, they used tissue paper decoupage. Can you guys tell me what the first thing, you had a blank canvas, what's the first thing you put on that canvas?
Glue.
Glue, and then?
We put the tissue paper.
And then?
We covered it with glue.
And then?
We put on the dots.
Yes. Well, I was just gonna say, when you do decoupage, tissue paper decoupage, you always put a layer of glue, a layer of tissue, a layer of glue, a layer of tissue. And it's wonderful because if there's something you don't like, you just cover it up, right? Or you pull it off, and nobody's perfect. And artwork, I love artwork, because artwork, the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Every piece of artwork is beautiful. All right. Okay, I need you all to sit down a minute. Oh, Michael's scooping ahead for me. One more. Okay. So you guys remember I told you all about my daughter, Michaela, and she was in a wheelchair, right? And she was in her 6th grade art class, and we wanted to do a project where we could include Michaela. And we could include Michaela, but she really couldn't hold her own paintbrush. So how could we include Michaela in that art project? Because all you have to do is be creative, and you can always find a way to include someone. How do you think we could have included Michaela in that art project? Yes, you can absolutely help her either hold the brush, or you can help her use her hand to put the glue down, right? My hands get all gluey when I do this. How could you help Michaela be part of an art project?
She could have just used her hands and fingers.
Correct. Do it like finger painting. How would you help Michaela?
I forgot.
That happens to me too. How would you help?
I would hold the brush with her.
Awesome. All those good ideas. Put your hands down again. I'm going to give you a little hint. Michaela couldn't walk, so what did she use? How could we let Michaela use her wheelchair to make artwork? Hold on. I want to get. Hold on. You didn't have a chance yet. How could we let Michaela use her wheelchair?
Because you gotta roll on it.
You gotta roll on it with the wheels, but what do we have to do to the wheels first? You gotta put paint on it. Yeah, look at that picture. Now that's not Michaela, that's my friend Xander. And I really don't remember her name because I met her a bunch of years ago. But she stopped to help us and she put the paint on Xander's wheels. And then she helped push around. We just had Easter not too long ago. So those are those marshmallow peeps. Right by us is where Justborn is. So they did see that dark outline around the peep? That's paint from the wheelchair. Pretty cool, right? Now you guys who helped me. Well, let me go back. So this is something Michaela's Voice always did. We do inclusion. By the way, Michaela's Voice is the company that we started to talk about this with all kids. And more importantly, it's not just about inclusion, kindness, and friendship. But you guys remember what you learned when we talked about it before? Who do we want to talk about inclusion, kindness, and friendship? Michaela's Voice wants who to kind of take charge. Do you know who we want to take charge?
The people who have disabilities.
And who else?
The people who can help with somebody or something who has disabilities.
So the people with disabilities, or the people who can help the people with disabilities. But what age do you have to be to help? What age?
You might have to be all I know is you have to be 27 to get a military, so probably 20.
You do, but don't you think, hold on, if you saw somebody in a wheelchair, couldn't you be kind and include them? So you're never too young to start helping, are you? So can we all be Michaela's Voice? Yeah, and that's what Miss Kim and Michaela, and some of you don't know that Michael is Michaela's dad, but that's what we want. We want everybody to be Michaela's Voice. So one of the programs, so you know we have the book Our Friend Michaela, right? Because we read that. And we have a book written by kids about having a friend with Down syndrome. We have a book written about having a friend with autism, and now we have the Spot. But we also have an art project. So you guys did a fabulous art project. And we always usually work with kids on a great big canvas, but then COVID happened, right? Yeah. And Michaela's Voice thought, how are we going to do artwork with a bunch of kids together when they can't even sit at the same table? They have to be 6 feet apart. Or before that, they were at home. So we came up with a different art project. Did you guys all work on the same canvas? No, you had individual canvases, right? And somebody tell them what was on your individual canvas.
Piece of tape that was covered with paint from Michaela's Voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak one off here, you guys, to show you a little bit. So every one of our artists made one of these. Did you all use the same colors? No. But what did you all have the same on there? Somebody tell me. What was the same on yours? Go ahead. All of them had a quarter, the yellow spot. I mean, what is this? Somebody tell me. What's that?
A track from Michaela.
Yeah, this is actually a track from the wheel of Michaela's wheelchair. So even though Michaela wasn't with us and we couldn't do our artwork on one canvas, we found a different way to be creative and get it done, right? So we have a wheelchair mark, and somebody tell me about the yellow spot. You want to tell me?
The yellow spot is the spot from the ladybug.
And when you guys got the spot, it was a whole circle, right?
Yeah. We cut it up into 4 parts.
And we put it in the corner. Okay? All right, Michael. I have a surprise, even for the artists. They don't know that I have this. Hold on, I just have to put this the right way. Can you go to the next slide, Michael? Oh, he's already ready. So there's our artists. Can you give them a big round of applause? Now, what I want you to see, what I want you guys to see is, are there any 2 artists the same? Are there any 2 pieces, any 2 canvases Michael, play the next. Hit click again. No, hit again. Oh, we don't have sound. Okay, stop a minute. Just stop. We just need sound. No, it's all right. Okay, I want you guys, you hold, oh, no, you guys sit down, just you hold right here. You guys, if you're not sitting there, you won't be able to see it. You need a front row seat, okay? Now, will you guys start a drum roll for us? We can do it on the table or on our lap. 3, just hold 3, 2, 1. You guys are first because it's the first time you're seeing your artwork together. What do you think of it? Okay, put your hands down. I know I just was getting quiet because I know I had some people who wanted to say something.
It looks very cool.
It's even cooler than you think. We haven't even showed you yet. Who had their hand up here?
Amazing. I like around the diamonds, they look like wheelchair marks.
There you go. Right, around the diamonds are the wheelchair marks. So all the canvases are connected. Put your hands down. We'll talk about some of these things. When you see this artwork, it's beautiful.
Yes.
But we want you to think more than, we want you to think about Michaela's voice and our message and mission when you see it. Like the wheelchairs, it connects us. You just might want to hold the end in case. Oh, and you're being called back to your seat. Okay, but you need to sit down a minute. So the wheelchair marks connect. We're all connected, right? It's almost like each individual canvas represents a person. If each individual canvas represents a person, what would the artwork together represent? Oh, her hand went right up. So if each one represents a canvas, what would the whole thing together represent?
Like the world.
She went really big. Yes, the world. So I'm glad you did because that's what I meant. This could represent all the people in your school. It could represent all the people in your community, or it could represent all the people in the world. And we're all different, but we're all connected, right? And what connects these?
The dot.
The dots connect, right? Did you want to add something?
The wheelchair marks.
Wheelchair marks. Now, most artwork you don't touch. You just look at it, right?
Yeah.
Not this artwork. It's super cool. So let me see. I need three of my artists. Your hand went right up. You come up here and help me. And you guys right here. Come on up. Up. All right. Well, that's two. Can you wait? Okay. Come on up over here. So you guys, what we didn't tell you is this artwork is going to hang. Well, Miss Kim's going to take this home, but we're going to hang these in your school. And this artwork, yes, and this artwork, most artwork in the school you're not supposed to touch, right? You're not supposed to take it down. This artwork you can take it down, you can move it around, you can spin it. There will be these on your wall, and on the back, there's 4 of them. So you can hang it this way, or you can hang it this way, or you can hang it this way, or you can hang it. I know. All right, so we're going to put this back up where it was a minute. Now, I need you to, we're going to show you what you can do with this. You're going to come here, and I always have to think to make it work. Hold on, let me just figure it out. Go to the left once, and then go to the right once, and then you're going to make that one go to the left. Not you, not your turn. You right. Back. I'll help you. Turn it back. No, other way this way. And this way, go that way. Like you're turning a driver's. Don't turn it that way. Starting to happen. It's starting to happen. Okay, you sit down. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take this one and you're gonna go to the. Did you see how if I was driving the steering wheel, it goes to the left? Drive it like a steering wheel to the right. This one. You can do that one. This one can go to the right. Yep. Go to the left. This one goes to the left. These goes to the right. That one goes to the left. This one goes to the left. You got it. Keep going. Yep, it was already there. There you go. And the last one goes to the right. Okay, you guys may sit down. Now what do you have? A zigzag, right? And if I came back to visit you in a week, you guys are going to think of all different ways that this could be. The purple doesn't need to be in the middle. The purple could be on the side. Your zigzag can actually, there's a way to make it so that it zigzags this way instead of this way. But we're not gonna do all that today because you guys are gonna figure it out. Because you can use the artwork to express your own creativity, right? So, you know, Miss Kim, if I had been able to find a way to include you all in this program, I would have. But we let 24 of your friends make it, but now we're inviting all of you to arrange it to represent different ways of coming together. Pretty cool, right? Yes, what did you want to say? Come here, I'm going to show you. Come up. Well, within reason, you need to be in class. You can only touch it when your teacher says, hey, maybe you can go. By the way, this is an incredibly good sensory break. It's going to be upstairs by the conference room. Okay, I want you to take any one you want. Take it off and hand it to me. You just lift it up a little and pull it off. Thank you. Take another one and put it where that one was. There's no right or wrong, you guys. Just like people, we all fit together in many, many ways. Here, put that one back up there. Can you reach? Go up a little higher and drop it. Can you leave little Miss Maisie right now? I know. Good. Go ahead, sit down. Anybody else want to turn? I know there were going to be too many, but okay. The two of you on the end. Come on up. Just two. Oh, one at a time. Take one off. Hand it to me. Thank you. Go ahead, take one off somewhere else. Doesn't matter which one. No. Oh, and you need to sit down. You've been very patient. Trade you. Here. Oh, okay, you can switch. You got it. If you got two hands here, just mix them up. I'm proving a point here. Don't get a whole one for you. There you go. Just if you missed, just go a little bit higher. Okay, you guys can sit down. Thank you. Now, hands down. You guys are going to have all the rest of the year and next year and the year after that to play with it. Now look, it's not diamonds. Listen, it's not diamonds. It's not a zigzag, but it's just as beautiful, right? Isn't that the message of Michaela's voice? Okay, let me sum up, okay? You all got your listening ears on. Is Michaela's voice just about people in wheelchairs? No. Is Michaela's voice just about people with disabilities? No. Do we all have a yellow spot? Yeah. Are we all going to be kind and friendly? Yeah. It's more important than that, okay? It is nice to be kind. It's nice to open a door. It's nice to be friendly. You can offer someone, to sit with you at lunch. What's even more important is getting to be someone's friend, okay? You can be kind, you can be friendly, but you can take time to actually get to know someone. Do you think Michaela just wanted kids to be nice to her because they thought that they should be nice to her? Who would want that? Get to know someone different than yourself. And I don't mean someone in a wheelchair. It might just be if you're an artist, get to know somebody who plays soccer. If you're a football player, get to know someone who does art. Do you all promise to be Michaela's voice? Yeah. Okay, last thing. I'd like all my artists to come on up here, stand in a row all the way across. All the way across. Okay, you can all stand by the art. That works for me. If you worked on the art, please come on up and turn around. Here. Okay. All right. Can you guys all take one big bow? You did help. Come on. to Young Scholars of Central PA for having me. Dr. Kaya, is that how I say it? Thank you so much. And you can definitely come up, but I also want to thank Miss Katie, because they don't call you, but what did they call you? Miss Fish? I want to say thank you to her because she also brought us here. Can you give her a round of applause? I know, I'm good. It's her birthday. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let's start from Miss Blasi's class. You can down, and then from here, this is Leo. This is Timbo.